àbá wọlé lábẹ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo tolórí tẹlẹmọ̀lú fún bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sanwó orí yín déédé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìlú rere. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe rí pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ń tẹ̀síwájú dáadáa lábẹ́ ètò ìṣàkóso yìí èyí tí ó mú ẹ̀rọ Ṣèyí Mákindé ṣáájú rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun láti mú kí àwùjọ wa tẹ̀wọ̀n èyí tí yóò lè mú kí àwọn òdáṣẹ́sílẹ̀ tilẹ̀ yìí àti tilẹ̀ òkèrè kó máa bọ̀ tààràtà sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ láti wá dáṣẹ́ sílẹ̀ lọ́pọ̀ yanturu. Àṣeyọrí ìwá látàrí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sanwó orí yín déédéé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí egun bá jóore orí a máa yátọ́kùn. Inú wa dùn púpọ̀ láti sọ fún yín pé èèyàn rere ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ nìyí. Ẹ tẹ̀síwájú láti máa sanwó orí yín déédéé láti lè mọ́ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ túbọ̀ tẹ̀wọ̀n kó sì dára. Àtúwáǹkì yóò kú ayẹyẹ ọdún Kérésìmesì àtọdún tuntun tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà. Ojú gbogbo wa ni ó máa rọ́dún. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ òmìtì tó ti ró sanwó orí ẹ̀.
Welcome back to Aloore Radio, transmitting from the GSM Studio, Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Agodi Secretariat, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. And you're still on to Revenue Drive, the program sponsored by the Oyo State Internal Revenue Service. And here with me still in the studio is the chairman of the service, Mr. Olufemi Adeboale Awakan. Nice to have you with us, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Before we went on that compulsory short break, we were actually discussing about the various sanctions and how you're actually making the people, the public, to know about these sanctions from your service. So that is where we actually stopped.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, first of all, we believe so much in voluntary compliance that without forcing people to pay, they pay. And there is room for any assessment given to anyone that you are not satisfied with. You can write to Oyo State Internal Revenue Service to complain, so that we look at it. If there is anything we can do, we'll do it. That's two. Two, any notice of assessment that we give to anybody, at least we send that assessment to you. We remind you twice before we now give you the final notice that we want to come and distrain you. Distrainment means that we come and lock up your place. So if you now didn't comply, that's when you see our people coming to lock up your place, and that will force you to pay what he asks you to pay. But we don't always like it to get to that level before we see that people, comply with what you ask them to do. And even most of the time, myself and my directors will go out to meet taxpayers to educate them and inform them on what they need to do. When they have any complaint, that they can even write us and tell us, and we'll look at it. But we see there are some people that no matter what you say, they won't comply. Exactly. So that's why we resort to locking their offices, so that they will be forced to come and pay.
Yes, I believe that from all you've talked about now concerning sanctions and all this, I believe this can be very effective when you're talking about big businesses, big organizations, or formal sectors. But what of these informal people that are just doing their business? How would you get your
like who? Like which type of business?
Sir, somebody that just is doing like, let's take for example now those that are into music, or those that are into probably even anybody doing business is expected to pay taxes, or those that are into let me say fashion designing and things like that.
Okay, there's SME, okay, small enterprises.
All right.
That's where we talk about presumptive taxes.
Presumptive taxes. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. You're still on to Revenue Drive here on Aloore Radio, transmitting from the Oyo State Ministry of Information. Sir, we want to quickly move because of our time. We've discussed about taxes. Now, can we move to levies? What are levies?
Like I said, they are charges in accordance with the provision of the law. Anything tax or levy is based on the law of the land, and for levies, each state has the power to domesticate the levies into their states, right? And I've mentioned some of them before, like business premises, like consultancy services for public health laboratory services, for food companies. There are laboratory services that you have to carry out.
For food companies?
Yes. Those that are manufacturing foods, like people that are producing like milk, right?
What about these franchises that are springing up everywhere now? You have all this, Mr. B, these ones, and so on.
They have to be checked by Ministry of Health, and you pay for it.
Okay.
So, all the harmonized bill harmonized bill means, so many bills put under one sheet of paper, so that instead of for Ministry of Health to bring a bill, for Ministry of Tourism to bring his own bill, for Ministry of Environment to bring his own bill, signing to bring his own bill. No, they are all harmonized into one bill, and you are asked to pay with your code. This code specifying where you are paying into. So that's what we call harmonized bill. And there are so many of them. The hotels, like if you are in hotel business, you pay certain amount for hospitality business to Oyo State Tourism Board.
Okay.
But if you are not in the hotel business, you are not going to pay anything like that to tourism board. That's why I say when people are saying double taxation,
exactly.
It's not really double taxation. It depends on the sector you belong to. You pay certain amounts. So that's why these taxes are too many. But we are doing different things. You are in education, there are certain amounts you pay.
That will be for school owners.
For school owners only.
Okay.
But if not school, if you don't have a school, you have hospital, your own bill will be different.
So can you please quickly explain one thing to me concerning when we're talking about that education levies? I believe that anybody that wants to start any educational services like that, I think like creche. Starting from the creche. I think they pay up a certain amount even to women affairs. Does that have to do anything with your own?
Yeah, it's Ministry of Education that determines, how they are going to inspect all those things. Our own aspect is to assess them on what to pay, and you collect all the assessments you have made.
But the payments, they still make payments to Women Affairs, and they will still have to make payments to Internal Revenue Service as well?
No.
Okay, sir. Right.
Because anything revenue in Oyo State, it ended up at the table of Oyo State Board of Internal Revenue, if it's revenue. So it's the only Board of Internal Revenue that is given the power to collect revenue in Oyo State.
All right.
No other
MDAs, no other stakeholders are allowed to collect revenue on behalf of the government. By law. So it's any payment of revenue in Oyo State that we are should be directed to.
Personal Income Tax Act gives the power to collect such revenue by the State Board of Internal Revenue.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification, sir. And also talking about levies, and now when you're talking about vehicle plate numbers and motorcycles and tricycles, we have them all over. How do you go around this?
Yeah, thank you very much for raising this particular aspect.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you in Oyo State, the motorcycle owners that we have in Oyo State, more than 80% of them don't even have plate number. Talk less of renewing
Yeah, exactly.
their vehicle licenses. So I'm now appealing to all the motorcycle owners and keke napep. Please go and take the plate number for your vehicles and your motorcycle before we start enforcement. Please, I'm just appealing to you to go and do that. And those ones that have plate number, you should go and renew your plate number. If you have not renewed it for years, go and do that, so that when we go out to enforce, it will not look as if we are wicked and we are disturbing you. Please go and do that. Then for number plates and for motor vehicles,
Yes.
they are part of road taxes. And if you want, these things are collected. You are able to pay and collect your plate number by electronic means. You have plate number that you buy from FRSC.
Yeah.
If you want to buy,
exactly.
you want to get from us, you pay. There's a way you pay online. When you pay, and the number plates will be given to you. So there's some information they will take from you,
Okay.
as a data, like a database, so that if anything happens to your vehicle, you can trace it.
I believe that is even safer
It's
for
safer.
people
Yeah.
to actually go through that means. Sorry, sir, I would want you to reiterate that for people to actually know and know that the state service is actually seeking to make sure that the populace are safe. I want you to reiterate on that, sir.
Yeah. We know there are so many unscrupulous people around.
Yeah.
Some people may be driving and some people come to them, use gun and collect the vehicle from them. If you still want to retrieve your vehicles, your vehicle plate number must be properly registered, because when our officers are taking your data, is to help us to find out if anything happens to your vehicle. But if you don't do proper registration with your vehicle, or you use fake number plates on your vehicles, when your vehicle is stolen, you cannot retrieve it again. It's gone and it's gone forever. So that is why we are appealing to everybody: do the right thing, go and collect your number plate from the accredited and approved offices of the Oyo State Board of Internal Revenue. That is our licensing offices throughout the state, so that your vehicle could be safe. Then two, when you get the plate number, make sure whatever question they ask you to put down your data, please supply them, so that tomorrow when they ask you questions, some people will send somebody to go and collect the plate number for them, and they put the phone number of the person that is going to collect the plate number. When your vehicle get lost, you cannot be traced. So
one has to be really accurate
Yes.
about every data that you're putting in, and make sure that whenever you are being asked to retrieve or to give them back, it must be that.
yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for that explanation on that.
And for vehicle,
All right, sir.
make sure you go and renew your vehicle licenses. Make sure you do your roadworthiness, because all these things are subject of the law. It's not the make of Oyo State government, by national law. You have to renew your vehicle license every year, your roadworthiness, and your insurance.
Yeah. And sir, I want to have still on that, sir. When you're talking about roadworthiness, insurance, and everything like that, does it mean that I reside in Oyo State? Let me use that as a scenario, sir. I reside in Oyo State, and my plate number is actually Lagos State, and I want to renew all this. Well, it would be proper for me to go to Lagos, or I stay in Oyo State and pay everything here in Oyo State.
The law says if you do your renewal in Oyo State, it's acceptable anywhere in the country. That is what the law says. So if you have Lagos plate number and you are residing in Oyo State and you renew your state, it's acceptable anywhere. The only thing is that our people don't have that kind of patience. When you get to Lagos and they're now harassing you that you are supposed to renew your vehicle in Lagos State, you always drifter. If you go to law to the court of law on it, you are going to win, because there's no state that can compel you to do your renewal in their state, even if your plate number is from their state.
Wow. That's really good to know. I believe our listeners are actually taking down so much information as the chairman is actually dishing it out to us, that all what the internal state revenue is doing is to protect us. They are making it easy. They are making diverse ways for us to be safe, even with our vehicles, even with our businesses. They are actually generating different ways for us to be safe and for our businesses to be safe. On this note, I want us to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll still be talking with the chairman of the Oyo State Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Olufemi Awakan. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
tágbà bá ń rojọ́ ọmọdé wọn pa lọ́lọ́ ní òwò lọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ sí àwọn àgbà ìhùwà ìbàjẹ́ o tí wọ́n bá ṣèbàjẹ́ a ó ṣì gbà fún wọn ní o.
jẹ́ a máa bá wọn sọ kí wọ́n má ṣe hùwà ìbàjẹ́ mọ́ o ẹ jẹ́ a máa bá wọn sọ kí wọ́n má ṣe hùwà ìkà yìí o ẹ jẹ́ a máa bá wọn sọ kí wọ́n má ṣe hùwà ìbàjẹ́ mọ́ o.
One more time.
Hello, the good people of Oyo State and its environs. Oyo State Internal Revenue Service, on behalf of Oyo State government, is saying thank you all for being patriotic. As we can all see, Oyo State is progressing progressively well under Engineer Seyi Makinde-led administration, and also working assiduously to have an egalitarian society which is capable of attracting local and foreign investors to come into Oyo State. This is as a result of your taxes. Oh yes, a well-performed masquerade encourages its confederacy. We are pleased to tell you that you are wonderful people. Please keep on paying your taxes regularly and promptly for the betterment of Oyo State. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance to all. Oyo State, Ometi Totiro, pay your tax.
I see them everywhere on the streets, wasting their lives away. Youth can find no direction to put their energy. I see them in Europe and America looking for hope. Everywhere they go, they're lonely, can't find no warm bed. You like to see the children cry and waste their lives away, my brother. You like to see them die before their time in poverty. Seems you like to see the people cry in frustration and desperation. You like to see them flee and leave this land so full of promise. see them everywhere, in factories and plantations. A new wave of slavery and servitude in foreign lands. I see them in Asia, Australia, wherever you may think. Everywhere they go, they're lonely, there's no place like home. You like to see your children cry and waste their lives away, my brother. You like to see them die before their time in poverty. Seems you like to see the people cry in frustration and desperation. You like to see them flee and leave this land so full of promise. You like to see the children. You like to see the children. Do you like to see the children? You like to see them die, brother. You like to see the children. You like to see the children. Do you like to see the children? You like to see them die. lọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ sí ọmọdé ìgbójú sókè wá gba owó tágbà bá ń rojọ́ ọmọdé wọn pa lọ́lọ́lọ́lọ́ ní ìhòòhò lọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ sí àwọn àgbà ìwùwà ìbàjẹ́ o tí wọ́n bá ṣèbàjẹ́ a ó ṣìgbà fún wọn ni o ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ a máa sọ jẹ́ a máa bá wọn sọ ẹ máa bá wọn sọ ẹ máa bá wọn sọ ẹ máa bá wọn sọ.
Yes, we're still on to Revenue Drive, a program sponsored by the Oyo State Internal Revenue Service, and I'm still talking with the chairman of the service, Mr. Adeboale Wakan. We've been talking about a series of things that has to do with taxes, with levies, and from what we've been discussing, we've noticed that all what the service is actually doing is not only generating revenue for the state government, which is a cogent part of what they need to do, but at the same time they also have the safety of the populace at heart. Concerning the registration of your number plates is for your own safety, and even the roadworthiness of your vehicle is for your safety. You cannot have the whole family in a rickety car and you decide to go on a journey. Let's think about what could happen. So all what the service is also doing with other stakeholders are actually to protect lives and property. And I believe from what you've heard, if you have not been paying your taxes, if you've not been paying your levies, should go out there and start doing so from today. So we're still talking about before we came on air again, we were actually discussing under the microphone, and we mentioned something about a tripartite kind of action between your service and some other stakeholders. Can you please expatiate, especially it has to do with this end time and this festive time?
No, we have a tripartite relationship with road safety and vehicle inspector officers, VIO. It's basically on road taxes.
All right, sir.
It's for the safety of our people in ensuring that everybody is safe on the road. Though our own aspect as a revenue office is the revenue aspect that will come to us, but we bring all these people together so that as we are, taking care of the safety, then we are collecting little money for the state. So, for example, the Okada riders.
Right.
We do a lot of job with road safety and VIO on how we have people taking Okada to be safe on our roads. So we are just appealing to our people.
Right.
What we are asked to do by the VIO and the road safety is not because of the VIO and the road safety, but because of us. If they say you should not carry 2 people on Okada and you carry 2 people, it's not because the VIO will enter your Okada with 3 people, but because of the safety for you and those people that you are carrying. So that is our relationship with that.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. We thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Revenue Drive today's Mr. Awakon. Well, before we go, is there any message for the people, as especially during this festive period? Many people will be spending money. We can't some tax.
I'm appealing to all of us in Oyo State. Today is 21st of December 2022. 2022 is going. It means just few days to end the year. And some of us have not even paid our tax for 2022 and the levies for 2022. Even some have not even paid taxes and levies for 2021. I'm appealing to all of us. Let us go today and find a way of paying all these taxes and levies. Now, the accounting system in the public sector is going to an accrual basis. It's no longer on cash basis. If you don't pay this year, it will be accumulated for you and you have to pay it next year. So it's better you pay now than delaying it till next year. And God will help us. Then as we are driving around all this festival period, let's be careful and drive safely. I wish all of us Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Awakon. Thank you for joining us here again on Revenue Drive.
Thank you.
Mr. Awakon did not come alone. He came with his director as well, the director income tax, Mr. Aziz Toyin Mubasiru. Alaji Aziz Toyin Mubasiru. Also, he's here with us. Also, is the director planning, research and collection, Mr. Popola Olabisi Amos. And also, I have with me Director Finance and Accounts, Mrs. Aditun Fatimot. Thank you for accompanying.
What about my
media
officer?
Thank you so much, sir. Also, I have with me the media officer of the state, or your state internal revenue service, in person of Mrs. Modukwe Taiwo. Thank you for coming. And on that note, we'll be rounding off another edition of Revenue Drive. Thank you, the engineer, for today's program, Mr. Diji Olawe. I remain Aboye Dioju. Thank you for staying tuned to Aloore Radio. See you again next week.
Onímọ́tò rọra sáré o, onímọ́tò rọra ní kọ́nà yẹn, onímọ́tò rọra gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé o, fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé onímọ́tò. Onímọ́tò. Onímọ́tò rọra sáré o, onímọ́tò rọra ní kọ́nà yẹn, onímọ́tò rọra gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé o, fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé onímọ́tò. Asúré tètè ò mà ní kọjá ilé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni arìn ìgbẹ̀rẹ̀ ò mà ní sọnù sọ́nà. Òréré oníjì kó má ní pẹ̀kun láyé wa. Ìmàjíire onímọ́tò. Onímọ́tò. Ọkọ̀ níyàn, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹlẹ́bà, ọkọ ọmọ lóbì tí ń bẹ lókè ọjà àbí pélé ojú gẹ́gẹ́ lójú ọmọge onímọ́tò.
We bring you everything from breaking news.
President must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation.
World news, sport, music,
Bella just want me with you like guys.
and many more. To listen to our programs, follow us live on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Aloore Radio, Twitter and Instagram at Aloore Radio. You can also subscribe on our YouTube page on Aloore Radio. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you know when we are live. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
ọgbà tí àṣejìná lòdì ìrànjẹ làwọn aláṣẹ ìjókòtì tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú òun ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán ńkọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọrírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
Your day has gotten a lot better. You can stand a chance of winning amazing prizes every month on Aloore Radio. How to participate? Follow us on our Facebook page on Aloore Radio. Share our program links on all your social media platforms. The person with the highest shared links win our amazing monthly prizes. Share, listen to Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
ẹ káàsán ẹ sì kú àtúrọ̀ ìròyìn àgbáyé la mú wá fún yín láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò Alóore tó kalẹ̀ sí yàrá gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ GSM iléeṣẹ́ tí ìròyìn àṣà àti ìrìnàjò afẹ́ ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Secretariat Agodi Ìbàdàn orúkọ tèmi ni Akínọlá Olúṣọlá síwájú ẹ gbọ́ kókó tó wà nínú ìròyìn náà. Mákindé ṣàbẹ̀wò sí ibi tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ iná ọmọ ọ̀rá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ó kéde ìpèsè owó ìtura fáwọn tájàlù náà fọwọ́ bà. Àjọ JAMB ti kéde ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ ìforúkọsílẹ̀ ìdánwò UTM fáwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Taliban gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé ètò ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga fásitì fáwọn obìnrin Afghan. Ní báyìí ẹ gbọ́ ìròyìn náà ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ onímọ̀-ẹ̀rọ Ṣèyí Mákindé lọ́jọ́ àná kẹ́dùn pẹ̀lú àwọn oníṣòwò tó pàdánù àwọn dúkìá wọn sínú ìjàmbá